Hey everybody, welcome to What Drives Us, episode 419 for July 7, 2021. My name is Russell Frost, and I am your host for this evening's exciting adventure in advanced tech mobility and sustainable energy. And look at these excited faces. And by that I mean Kacey. Both Mark and Georgia are already over me, and the show hasn't even started. So,
well, let's be honest here. We get to experience you pre-show.
Wow. 5 minutes of pre-show and we are over you. Well,
but if you join at the $99 a month membership, you might get to experience Russell pre-show as well. Maybe.
You know what? You get to watch our technical follies.
Yeah, the technical follies. So in the past, in recent weeks, Kacey Green has been kind enough to help us live stream so that we can get back in the chat and people can watch the show. It's a little bit different system. And I have been so inspired by his technical prowess and adventurous attitude that I am now the master of the live stream. So if it doesn't work, yeah, that's why. It's my fault. It's not Kacey's fault. It's all on me. Exactly.
So let's
introduce the panel and get started because we've got a show full of news. Right next to me, well, on one side or the other, it's hard to say, Mr. Kacey Green.
Howdy. So the temperature's finally coming down, and I'm recovering from injuring myself making videos. Sorry.
Ow.
Yeah. You wouldn't think that just a plain old Tesla video could hurt you, but I was wrong.
Yes, I would. Take a drink.
Right?
Well, the man who's not going to inspire any excessive drinking tonight, Mr. Mark Coughlin.
He's got a whole segment.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Thanks for that fantastic introduction again.
I guess I'm going to have to go back to the script at some point because I'm just
pretty well.
There's a script.
Pretty much there's been several scripts over the years, but yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to try not to screw this one up. Georgia McKenzie.
Hey, you did pretty well. I congratulate you. Thank you. Yes, I pat yourself on the head. Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us today, and let's get right into the content.
Let's do that. And I think our first story is coming from Mr. Kacey Green.
It be. So, our friends at Stellantis have decided to...
Wait, do we have friends at Stellantis?
We probably do now.
Okay.
Because they've announced their first dedicated EV plant. And it's going to serve PSA Group, FCA, and it's going to be at the Ellesmere port in the UK. So, yeah. Just what we always needed. Some EVs out of this company that's been paying Tesla and others for credits so they could continue to pollute with their Ram trucks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So they think it's going to be in the UK. The Ellesmere port plant is fit for the future with a new body shop, upgraded general assembly, and a compression of the site area and creation of an on-site battery pack assembly, but not manufacturer. In addition, there will be further support to enable a pathway to carbon neutrality for the plant by the middle of this decade. A little slow. The plant aims to be 100% self-sufficient for electricity and will work to commence imminently on potential wind and solar farms. So they've got the right. I mean, I can't keep sniping at them. They're trying and they're doing it the right way. So,
I mean, a battery-only plant, no gas cars there.
No gas cars from 2022. So literally January, boom, there are no gas cars.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And UK needs some auto manufacturers after what they did to their commerce situation.
I mean,
It's going to be chock full of cars that nobody here buys. The
That too.
The UK auto industry's been like a dumpster fire for what, 40 years? I mean, with some notable exceptions.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have such a weird fanboyism for the Mini Cooper that I cannot attack the UK market.
It's German now, so you're good.
I know, but still.
And if it makes you feel any better, they have a horrible repair record, just like the original Coopers did. So,
Well,
I
that's
mean,
why I love them from afar. I
Right.
believe I described it to you that when I test drove one, it felt like it felt like a Chihuahua humping a Great Dane. It
Oh, wow.
a lot of effort for very little output in the car, which is probably why you invited me to be on this show.
we've got this week's show title, folks. Chihuahua humping a Great Dane. I'm writing it down. So,
But that's what it felt like. It was just going like this, and I was like, dude, it's not even 35.
Just make a lot of noise.
It was just working. It was working very hard on itself. I was not feeling the joy of the drive.
I wonder if the EV is any better, because they've done a couple of those.
I'm willing to try, because still, I am a passionate Riku fan. And I even do like the Peugeot. Jokes aside, I would not buy one, but I like to look at them. It's like young men. They're very pretty. Thank you so much for existing. I don't want one.
I was so waiting for that finish. That was beautiful. That was nicely done, Georgia. Well, nonetheless, we're always excited to see more electrified vehicles being built, and that's a good thing.
And
that
vans.
that Stellantis is planting a flag and saying, "Here we are in the UK." Speaking of the UK, let's go to Georgia for another. Is it a Brexit show or something?
No. We're celebrating some wins. I mean, I think based on
Some
Brexit
win?
and Boris Johnson, the UK could stand a few wins.
I was just trying not to pick
probably
the.
lost some seats, and that's another. No, did they?
Yeah, I was just trying not to pick the last story as my story because I would never hear the end of it.
All I know is the first link I went to for that story had the cute little puppy dog being bathed, and while that was cute, that was not Stellantis.
Right.
So we are going to Cornwall, ladies and gentlemen, and hey, guess what they're getting at United Downs near Redruth? It's a geothermal energy project. So it's just been greenlit. It's taken a decade, but we're finally going to be breaking ground there, and Cornwall is going to get their power plant. They plan to build, Geothermal Engineering Limited, is making this plant, and they plan to build 4 more sites in Cornwall by 2026. The electricity it generates is going to go into the grid and send heat to a local rum distillery. So right there, I think this is a plant we can all get behind, especially if they're giving away samples, and also funding a new housing estate. So it's going to do the 3 most important things. It's going to give us electricity for work. It's going to keep our housing warm, and it's going to get us drunk. I cannot support this project more heartily than if it was in my own backyard. So go on ahead, Cornwall. Congratulations. I cannot speak tonight. Sorry, guys. Geothermal Engineering Limited. I wish you much success and the happy distillery.
Geothermal's cool.
Hey.
Well, it's perceptually cool. It's actually really hot.
It's one of the best ways I feel, if you can, to heat your house. Because let's be honest, who does not want a sauna somewhere? You could literally build your own natural sauna and use the steam to heat the rest of your house, and that's all you have to think about. But
is that the way that works?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Don't mess with my delusions.
Is there like lava in the basement or something?
I don't care. Let's just make it work that way. That's
there we go.
In my fantasy world.
Well,
that's what we're gonna do.
You'd probably want a heat exchanger because you don't want it to smell like sulfur in your house.
I want Georgia's lava basement so that I can get a free sauna. That I'm totally behind that.
We'll just pour some water on the rocks of the basement and just open pores.
Hot
we're
stone.
all gonna look gorgeous.
Some little birch switches, the whole thing.
The whole thing.
It's a little Russian, but what the heck?
But this is a great development for Cornwall anyway, and it's nice to see these kinds of developments going to smaller countries in the UK. Sorry about Brexit, though.
Yeah. That Brexit thing sucks, huh? It is good to see. I mean, the UK, obviously, a lot of countries in the EU have already worked very hard to diversify their grid. Germany, we've reported on the solar efforts there. It would be nice to be reporting on these things here that, hey, we're putting in some geothermal, we're putting in some wind turbines. And we do from time to time. That's great, but we got a lot of space. We could be doing a lot of cool things.
We could literally put acres upon acres of solar collectors in most of California's desert and in Arizona's desert, and probably be shipping that if our cheap butts, and that includes our grandparents and our parents, had actually said, yeah, let's invest in that. That is a good plan for the future. But because America struggles with understanding that it's not what's done on the next month's balance sheet. It's what you can do for the next 5 years and then the next 10 years balance sheet that's important for a country. So we're still struggling to get out of that mindset, and we've missed. I think when I thought about it back in the late 90s, I got really pissed because I was, as a little kid, I was very into Jimmy Carter. I thought he was super cool because there was like
cool.
solar power things on the roof of the White House.
Yeah.
And I vaguely remember the election. Yes, I was a very strange kid watching the news and having thoughts about presidents, but I was very good in social studies. Okay, I was an A student, and I have all my certificates to prove it.
Suddenly this turned into therapy.
Shut up. But yeah, I remember watching Ronald Reagan and thinking, what? That's so sad. This person is so weird and not very smart.
And creepy.
Who could let him just run for president like that? No adult is going to vote for this person. He's strange.
Then we get a sequel.
My bad. I always think a little too good of humanity. That's my fault.
True. Yes. So the idea that we only need 100 square miles of panels and 1 square mile of batteries to be completely renewable is just phenomenal to me. And then, like you said, if we mix it, we don't even need that many in panels. Okay. And if we do a good job mixing it, we don't need as many batteries because they kind of take care of each other.
Yeah.
There's that, right? Mixing geothermal and wind with photovoltaic.
Hydro, and yeah. We got a lot of resources.
Well, the thing is, we're never going to have a perfect 100% solution to any problem.
Right.
Which is why we do kind of have to pursue all solutions that we possibly can and create a mix. It's going to be a holistic solution.
Yeah.
You had to use
everybody take a piece of the pie, and it all contributes to the whole pie. So
yeah,
that would be ideal.
That would be great if people understood. It's just take a piece of the pie. Don't try to grab the whole damn pie.
Or as George Bush once said, we'll make the pie higher.
That part of history never happened.
I'm sorry, was that a bad flashback?
That was another person where I was like, okay, surely adults will not.
Twice.
My bad.
We elected
now,
him
if you thought those two past presidents were that bad, man, what did you do in 2016?
By that time, I had pretty much abandoned all hope. And I really was still convinced that you guys won't do this, will you? And sorry to say, my bad. Once again, humanity, I have given you far too much credit. This was my mistake. Again, apologies.
Wow. And then I was dumbstruck by 2020. I was like, what? Seriously, you saw the performance and you thought this was good?
Well, as I point out to people, don't get too disheartened. Participation on both sides of the aisle was up by a much larger amount. So therefore, the shares were up as well. It is not a point of pride that was that close. I would not do all yay us because that was not a yay us moment. But at least we didn't do the 2016 problem again. So yay, right. We learned a little sorta.
But that's all we really wanted in the first place, was to have participation in. And so hopefully we'll be able to hopefully we'll be able to repeat that in the next one, assuming that.
And then we too can be like Cornwall and have geothermal plants where they go. As
We
long
could have
as
nice things.
yeah,
Maybe.
let's have some nice things and let's invest. Let's do this. Because I mean, I don't know if what do we have to do? Do we have to like geothermal shame America? Look at you.
We've got a lot of
Cornwall's
it.
beating you.
Exactly. So that landowner thing, you don't have to own the land where you vote, do you?
Ask Trump. And on that happy note,
Sorry.
no, that's fine. That's fine. On that happy note, let's go to Mr. Mark Coughlin for this week in Tesla.
Oh, I thought you were going to say greener pastures, but yes, that works too.
Sorry, Mark. I think Casey's
Well, as we all know, Tesla doesn't sleep. So this week, wanted to touch on 3 basic stories. The first one being the Q2 just ended recently and the end of June. And Tesla released their numbers a day later. They delivered 201,250 cars. They produced 206,421 cars. So this, of course, is a brand new record. We've now smashed the 200,000 per quarter level, and it continues to climb. And of course, with new factories coming online, hopefully by the end of the year, I see these records falling by the wayside rather quickly in the upcoming quarters. So I was actually talking with Kacey pre-show, and we remember the days when selling 30,000 cars was a big deal for Tesla. So now with the Model 3 and Model Y released, we're over 200,000, and that's quite an achievement for a company that was just a niche manufacturer at one point and is now growing leaps and bounds. So congratulations on another record, and look for more records to fall in the upcoming quarters this year. Next, which kind of plays into the previous story, recently used Teslas are being priced higher, in some cases higher, than the equivalent new Tesla. The used market in Tesla there seems to be overwhelming demand because the prices just keep going up. As most of you know, on a regular car and even a number of EVs, when you get to about 3 years into ownership, your car has depreciated somewhere between 40 and 50% on average. This hasn't happened with the Tesla vehicles. As I know, I've been looking for a used Model 3, and those prices certainly have not come to the Tesla brand at all. They, in fact, are, as of the last time before this article that I looked, they were only losing about 5% per year. And in this article, they're indicating that there are some Teslas that are being sold for the same price as new. So putting it out to you, panel, would you ever consider paying an equal amount for a used vehicle compared to a new vehicle? How badly do you need that vehicle?
I want to be the first guy on my block with a long-range Model S that looks like the Plaid. And I'm gonna pay dearly for it. I'm gonna pay Plaid money for it.
I don't understand a market where, like, I get that used cars are in hot demand, all brands, and this is all over the place. Lots of used cars are going for premiums, but the idea that you could actually buy a new car cheaper than a used car, I mean, am I missing something here? Like, and just order a new car.
It's not like the new car has less features or they phase something out. The new car, it's not like the old car is better than the new car in any way. It's the new car is either the same or better, like more range, more power. Yeah,
it's usually easier and cheaper to finance than a used car.
Yes. So, insurance.
Well, okay. My question is there any sort of particular designs, body No
I
detail,
think
nothing featured.
I think it's just a matter of they don't want to wait 3 months.
Basically the same. Yep, they're basically the
All right.
same.
See, I'm built for patience.
Yeah, especially if it's
If
going to save
I
a
want
lot of money.
Tesla, and if I want a Tesla and it's going to cost me about the same, then I'm going to wait for the new one.
Well,
Less
worse,
problems.
this Model S I'm talking about was 50 grand overpriced.
What?
Yes, 50
50
grand.
grand.
That's kind of an liar, though.
Barely.
Isn't it, Casey?
Barely.
That's an outlier. Yeah.
Most of them are going for the same price as new. This guy was going 50 grand over. Yeah.
That's
But
insane.
it's interesting that Tesla vehicles are holding their value far better than other cars.
Yeah.
And that along with having to maybe wait for a Model Y for a number of months, people are willing to pony up the same amount of money for a used car. It's strange. I certainly would be in George's camp. I would wait. If it took an extra 3 months, I'd wait the 3 months. But some people obviously want the vehicle now and they're willing to pay for it. And that's what's driving up some of these costs. So buyer beware when you're out there. If you've got a vehicle on order, keep that in mind.
Anybody want a Model X P100D today?
Yeah. Casey's got one. Yeah.
I can order a Model Y right now, according to Tesla.com, and I can get it in 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm. You're around the corner from the factory, though.
No, I'm on the website.
Nothing you're saying there makes me think, yeah, I should do that.
Right.
It would make perfect sense. No.
It's a crazy market, isn't it, Mark?
Yep, it is.
Buy stock, kids. Oh no.
Wait. We're not financial advisors, blah blah blah. But yes, I have
Never take stock advice from anyone on the internet.
What drives us lawyers or me just says, please do not listen to us regarding stock advice.
Exactly. And I'm sorry.
What we say to your advisor.
Last story we're going to touch upon, just because Russell is on this show.
Oh no!
Is that the Fort Lauderdale mayor has indicated that he is going to move forward with, get this, a new boring company loop in Fort Lauderdale from downtown to the beach. So the boring company submitted a proposal. Fort Lauderdale has accepted the proposal, and now it's up for, I guess, competitive bids for the next 45 days. And we'll see if any other company gets involved to put in a counter proposal for this loop. Based on the mapping of Fort Lauderdale, it looks like the loop from downtown to the beach is about 2 miles or a little bit less. So and it goes, of course, under a number of lagoons because, of course, Florida, lots of boat traffic, lots of people with boats in their backyards, little lagoons connecting to the intercoastal. So this tunnel is definitely going underwater in a whole bunch of different places.
That's an understatement.
So it's Florida, basically a swamp. So just a few feet above sea level. So on Fort Lauderdale. So we are definitely going to see a different type of a build here. As to the details, they were slim at this point. We don't know if it's going to be the regular size tunnel that we saw in Las Vegas, if it's going to be a freight tunnel that he talked about could hold passengers and freight for a shipping container. None of that was outlined, but those options now do exist apparently with the boring company. So we will have to see first if another company gets involved with a bid within the next 45 days. And if not, or if they have to review the bids, then of course they will select the winner, and some sort of timetable and details will be tabled at that point.
Well, Georgia, you've been involved with government before. So if somebody comes in and manages to underbid and whatever and win this, what if they were lying their asses off? How what is the recourse?
I'm going to point you to the case of the guy who just got sentenced for, I think, a $56 million boondoggle in locating and supplying masks for doctors during the first days of the COVID pandemic. And he had some group, and he was basically a hustler, and he literally had no connections to do this at all. So he just got sentenced, and that's only because we have a new administration that actually said, yeah, we should probably know who takes these contracts and loans connected with this the pandemic, and know what the hell they do with it. I mean, that's why we're having cases crop up of well, I got $150,000 in PPP loans, and I just so happened to have spent it on a Tesla, a used one, model.
Used one.
But yeah, people are now being caught, prosecuted, and going to jail. It takes a while. This is fraud. Now, Russell, your smile is super pasted on there. Maybe he froze. But the problem is,
no, he didn't freeze.
The problem is that it depends on whether or not they try to do it and underperform, or they say they're doing it, have so many delays, have lots of process approvals and disapproval issues, and then suddenly abandon the project, and the guy disappears to a place with no extradition treaty. I mean, now I myself am sure Tesla is not going to do this, the latter, but the former, trying and failing. All I'm going to say is what drives us does not provide stock advice regarding investments into the Boring Company or Tesla or any projects they are about to do on land that is uniquely situated in swamp areas and very much at risk of hurricanes. So, underground hurricane in swampland. Yes, that sounds like a wonderful project, and we wish everybody luck.
Yeah, I wasn't so concerned about Musk companies because they've done a couple of these, but like say Mr. Bezos decides he wants to yet again lose a bid and somehow get money for it.
But he'd have to show some kind of expertise. Not that he could now.
Now, if he bought a half a dozen old sewer tunnel boring machines,
right,
and rebranded them,
please don't.
Right.
The thing is that he could buy the expertise in like 5 minutes. He could literally turn around and put in a bid on a company and say, "Yeah, I want to do this. I want to do that."
All these dudes with shovels. Let's go.
Yeah, he really could. He could put that together in a week because he can.
I don't think Jeff Bezos is going to get involved in drilling tunnels. That's probably not going to happen.
This is just not. He's trying to do the corner of the pharmacy market right now. So they've got groceries, and he's trying to do pharmacy. I pretty much figure he's got enough, so don't use it. But
Jeff's got a date with a space mission, so he's got other things on his mind.
He's trying to find a new girlfriend. His wife keeps giving away money. I don't know, but that midlife crisis is coming up pretty hard. But
I feel bad for him.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
But, right.
Yeah, I feel next to nothing on that one, but that's. You can throw together a bid. You can do something. You can make it credible. What happens next if you actually win because you come under the bid and you fail? It could take a long time before people know you fail. I can give you local examples of street repair that was done by one company that took a long time. They came in under bid. They were reasonably credible to perform the work, so you can't really say it was corruption in any sort of quid pro quo in this contract award. However, the repair was inadequate and needed to be redone within, I think it wasn't even completed. So they actually had to go put it back out to bid, and I think they went back to the more expensive bidder. And those repairs have been done. So that was a relatively recent one that I got to see. But they can go with the wrong person. But more than likely, this is only a single person has shown up to throw a bid at this. I'm going to go with that one.
I think you're right, but we will see after
tailored
45 days.
Yeah, tailored, and then we've got what do you call it? Penalties if they don't make it.
I'd be curious, Mark. Did they say if there were any penalties if they don't meet a key deadlines, or was it just the award? Because usually there are.
Apparently, it was unsolicited. They called it as unsolicited proposal. So with the unsolicited title, that means that they have to open the bid up to others to see if there's others that wish to bid on it. So that's where it sits.
That's why the 45 days. Okay.
So if the Boring Company is the only company dumb enough to try to pull this bullshit, their bid will win.
Right.
Yes, they will win the bid because
if of course the mayor wants to move forward with it. It's not like you just propose something and they have to accept it. It's up to the city as to whether or not they want to move forward.
That's definitely true. But let's be clear. This dude was in Vegas at the opening of the Vegas thing. This is obviously something that he's connected to for one reason or another.
Yeah, he and the mayor of Miami both went out. Yeah. They both had interest in the subject of tunnels under their cities.
Two complete idiots. Yeah.
Well,
we shall see. It's not.
No.
Necessarily.
There's no we shall see here. Florida. It's porous limestone.
I'm sorry, Russell. Isn't that exactly what you said with Las Vegas?
Vegas is doing how many
targets?
How many targets are they met? Yeah, I know.
They met them all. Amazingly,
they met their
I want to see the audit on that.
Also, Vegas came with penalties if they didn't meet it. So hopefully, this also has some self-imposed penalties because
I gotta believe a shame putting. If Vegas put in contractual requirements, I gotta believe anyone else is going to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because there's never any foolishness going on in Florida.
Well,
I lived there for 6 years. I don't want to.
Is it as bad as the LBCC?
Yes, it's way worse. Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, Vegas is just crooked. Florida is crooked and stupid.
Hey.
Is that?
We might have people from Florida.
It's not what?
We're losing viewers.
I'm sure.
Hey, my kid lives in Florida. Okay, I get it. Like I don't hate on Florida. I just hate what Florida has become, which is like the dangling appendage joke of the United States. It's just awful.
Florida man.
Here's Anthony and those.
And again, Mark and I can disagree about what this thing is, but the idea that building a single lane track. How many times on this show have we?
Single lane.
How many times on this show have we talked that building more lanes doesn't decrease traffic? So he wants to build a tunnel so people can drive to the beach, which is going to do what, kids?
Building more lanes this way. He didn't say. We don't know about building lanes this way.
Oh, Jesus God.
So let's make it
he's
spicy.
Not going to drill 500 tunnels vertically to the beach. Right?
Let's make it spicy. Mark, get out your whiteboard and let's see where this goes.
All right. I really feel that honestly, this needs to be resolved with a pool noodle fight between Kacey and us.
I'm just a fan of this stuff, but let's get a bet going between Mark and Russell and see when and if and how.
I have no desire to fight Mark. None.
No, I don't want Russell to owe any more.
No, not monetary. Now,
didn't you also lose a bet to Patrick? Were we still betting with Patrick? I forgot what it was about.
I haven't lost a bet to Connor in a decade. By the way, okay.
All of them are still open.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault, but believe me. We're just going to disagree on that. That adding a lane here or there for traffic doesn't help traffic. The only way you make traffic is better is by reducing the traffic.
Just cut the traffic.
By making more room for the traffic, it just fills up to expand the room that you've added.
If it goes this way, it sure does.
Time to move on.
Yep, let's wrap it up.
Okay,
it's not the end.
Thanks. Well, so Mark, you want to talk about This Week in Tesla or the Tesla?
We just finished that.
The Tesla life.
Mark,
if you'd like to hear all the stories this week, please follow us on our YouTube
without my
channel,
bullshit,
The Tesla Life, or follow us through the week on the Twitter feed, The Tesla Life, there as well. And Facebook, it works there, The Tesla Life #1. So any of those three choices, you can get your fill of Tesla throughout the week.
Thank you so much for that. Do that and tell Mark just how stupid I am. I will own every bit of it. Let's go to our final story for the week, to Georgia, who has some more good news, we hope.
Hi. In this case, it's kind of more in Mark's neck of the woods.
It is.
That's right. Nature Fresh Farms is partnering with the University of Windsor to advance clean transportation. Basically, they are going to be trying to determine the impact of long-haul electric vehicles on Ontario's electric grid. So this is a $160,000 project where basically produce is going to be shipped with electric trucks. These battery operated trucks will look and perform similarly to diesel trucks with zero emissions. They're going to draw power from the grid. So the hope is that they would be able to sustainably deliver goods while allowing for the transferring of electrons back to the grid at key times and locations. It's pretty ambitious, and this is going to be the University of Windsor helping out Nature Fresh Farms. So the first step of the project will be working towards establishing an electrical grid that will be able to successfully manage a fleet of electric vehicles. Phase two would include a potential pilot study of developing and using electric long haul vehicles for that grid. Nature Fresh Farms will provide information from its operations, including shipping schedules, power use, utility costs, and that way the research team will be able to determine the strengths and weaknesses of converting its fleet to electric vehicles. And considering the fact that logistics, which is the movement of stuff from point A to point B, usually a store or in some cases directly to your home, is a big part of our fossil fuel consumption. The sooner we can get those big trucks converted to electric vehicles, it's the better, because I kind of think the record heat waves we have in places that normally do not have this kind of heat might be a tiny little sign that we got to get off our butts and do something.
Who's building these trucks?
They don't say.
Yeah, I didn't
they haven't
find it
sourced
either.
them.
Oh, they haven't decided yet. So they're going to start with the network, and then they're going to go from there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't
And
it
it's
be
interesting that
a
they're
good
talking
idea
about
to?
produce here because, of course, produce is transported in what we call reefers or refrigerated trailers.
Yeah.
And the reefer, if anyone's ever noticed, it has a gas tank hangs underneath the trailer because, of course, it's running the reefer unit, the air conditioning unit, and has to be able to run at all times separate from the truck. So whether the truck is stopped, if the driver is taking his break, the reefer continues to run and pollute. So having the ability to have this all run off of a battery would be a plus for emissions in not only the vehicle, but also the reefer unit. I don't have any information on how much energy a reefer unit uses, but it has enough that it needs its own gas tank. So it would be interesting to see how those numbers get affected with a completely electric solution.
Curious then at that point if you can't put some thin film cells up on the top of the trailer and a battery and
Solar, but how many batteries would they need to carry?
how much would it take away from the cargo? Yeah.
And when we're talking
well, most likely that the reefer unit could be plugged in, just like they do the brake lines and other things, to the cab. So if they have a huge battery in the truck, hopefully that would be enough to both run the truck's operation and to pull that energy into the reefer units for the refrigeration air conditioning.
Yeah.
Well, my question is when you consider how far a lot of these trucks have to haul stuff, what about living cabs, and would that mean that they would have to be smaller cabs, and how would that work for their work environment? So there's
with a traditional EV, the pull on your electric battery is far less for air conditioning than it is for heating.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more efficient using AC as opposed to heating in a regular EV. So I would think I would almost guarantee that's going to be the same for the truck as well. So I wouldn't think it would be too much in the cab to keep it as a cool spot and keep the temperature comfortable for the driver.
I'm still intrigued that they are trying to develop their network first rather than simultaneously with whoever's going to make their trucks, because
they possibly have just never announced it, Kacey. Like maybe they haven't indicated what the manufacturing is, even though they have an idea.
Okay, that would be cool, because if they literally hadn't even looked at who's going to make the truck yet, and they say, all right, we're going to have our stops 160 miles apart, and then they pick somebody whose truck goes 150 miles in the summertime on the test, but not fully loaded, then that would be a problem.
Yeah,
Sure.
you don't want to build a network when you don't have a vehicle to do the network. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like most things, we assume someone involved in this is competent.
Hopefully.
Dangerous
But it's
assumption.
exciting.
Yeah, no, it is cool. And this is certainly another good opportunity, again, for diversification. Put a hydrogen fuel cell on the bottom of the container to run the refrigeration units. There's all kinds of solar panels, whatever. There's all kinds of different things that we could do that would be less bad than burning more diesel fuel.
Yeah. And there's, 3 or 4 semi-truck makers that have thrown their hat in the ring?
Yeah.
I don't know how many are actually operating other than prototypes.
What day is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think on the trailer, typical highway trailers are 53 feet long. So that's a lot of room for solar panels if that could be hooked up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But they're heavy. Keep in mind, solar panels aren't necessarily light, at least
The regular ones, yeah.
Yeah, the regular ones. And but these are challenges that we can meet. How can we spread this around to cool these containers off? Because it's important to have. Hey, that food stuff. Everybody likes food. It's weird.
What they're going to be spending their time researching, because that's what we need to know.
Yeah, the thin films
durability though, of thin films, because I was actually going to say thin film would be a good option.
Yeah, they're lighter. They're coming up in durability, but then at the same point, if they have a trailer maker that's also participating in this, then perhaps they could have them integrated, which would make them more durable, and it wouldn't add extra weight for the panels if they have planned it in appropriately as part of the structure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. There's all kinds of potential for positive change here.
So the next question is veggies. Are they lighter than typical? But they're mostly water and cellulose, so they would be heavy, right?
I wouldn't think that produce is a heavy thing. It's not like construction materials or steel or something like that, where
bricks.
where it's very dense. So,
but there are limits. There are limits on the weight of any trailer. So whether you're hauling bricks or iron or pillows, it doesn't matter. There's so much room that can fit in a 53-foot trailer, and there's so much weight that legally can be on the road for that trailer.
Yeah.
And then the distribution of the weight as well.
Right. Remember, a pound of feathers is the same as a pound of sugar. It's just a pound.
It is?
Yeah, it's just the volume of space that it takes up that's different.
Contents may have settled during shipping.
That's right.
We vacuum pack the pillows.
Heat to every bag of chips and every box of cereal. Contents may have settled. Sure.
There you go. That's all I got this week. I was going to do the Fort Lauderdale story as a standalone, but Mark very adeptly and wisely scooped me on it. So all I got to do is throw in a few asshole remarks at the end. Which, you know what? Cheers, my brother. That was well played. Well played. I don't really have anything other than I think it's. Did anybody notice that Fred Lambert now has a stock channel, like a stock service?
Are you serious?
I could not be more serious. Could I make something more ludicrous up?
Is it on electric, or is it personal stuff? Or?
It's a personal, it's a side hustle where you can subscribe to his Substack, and he will recommend sustainable dividend companies to buy stock in. I'm just like,
but
what?
isn't he going for journalistic impropriety.
Oh yeah,
with
sure,
Charlotte.
right. And
So,
electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
No, we've had
In
this
theory-
conversation
He's
too,
always said he's not a journalist, so that's
Oh, he
not going
does.
to apply
Okay,
to
never
him.
mind then.
and he's always proven it.
this is true.
Rude.
Okay.
I just thought that was funny.
If he's not playing a journalist, then I guess there's nothing wrong with that.
No, we're not really journalists. We talk about
We're definitely
news,
not.
but that doesn't make us journalists. We don't. I mean, generally, we don't spend a lot of time doing independent research and corroboration beyond what we see already reported in the media. I think it's an important distinction. That doesn't mean that our information isn't good or that we don't mean it, but that just means that real journalists have a different standard.
They do, and when they fail, we like to kind of grind their noses in it.
Well, yeah,
They
they're
fail
good at.
so often, and then act really like, "How dare you?"
Dare you say I didn't thoroughly research this, that you figured it out in 5 minutes just because it's your domain of expertise?
We are news aggregators and
We are.
opinion holders. That is it.
That's it. That's all I got. Anybody else got one more thing?
Oh,
Uh-oh. Kacey says yes, he does.
so there was a Model S Plaid that an individual says that he got trapped in, and it burnt down. And shameless plug, I made a video about how to get out of your Tesla when it doesn't have power. But it's coming out that there may be more to the story, just like we saw in Texas.
Oh, please.
Hopefully not like Texas, where the constabulary was hiding evidence. That was unfortunate, but the allegations are not really allegations, but the coincidences are that this individual owns a firm that does short selling and
Please.
all of that stuff. Not just short selling, but they also do they want to buy at a Target, that sort of thing. And I don't know. Also, he does Bitcoin, so I don't know how much you would have to lose to risk your own life to set your car on fire. So I think that part is real, but there may be more to the story, and it'll be interesting to watch this unfold, just like the last one.
This is exactly why I've come to loathe all Tesla news, because inevitably the phrase short seller comes up. Inevitably, there's the FUD acronym comes up. Like it's never just, hey, wow, Tesla fucked something up really bad. They're going to fix it, though.
Well, I mean, there have been other stories where, like in China, Tesla has done a recall where they've flashed all the cars and it's done. But that's already done, and there was no controversy. Well, there was controversy over it, but it passed before we came back around to it because it was only one day of controversy.
There's an old saying about pigs and getting dirty, and that's all I can think of right now. That's all I got. And I'm tired of being dirty. So, I just, talk about, I saw a wonderful picture on Twitter today of Rivian vans all lined up.
Yeah, that was cool.
I loved that.
Did you see the one where they did the camp stove, the demo of the camp stove?
No, these were the Amazon vans, not
it's the same company. They did the Amazon vans, and in that same day, I don't know if it was in the same presentation, they had the lady who was in charge of engineering the camp stove. She did the whole shebang as far as the sink, the
out
stove,
of the truck, not the van.
Yeah, out of the truck.
Yeah,
not
right,
the
right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was like, there's no camp stove in the vans. I guarantee.
No, there better not
Amazon,
be.
Yeah, Amazon's not paying for camp stoves. I promise you that.
No, you got to bring your own pee bottle.
And brake pedal, yes.
And brake pedal. Ooh.
Yeah, well, it's hard. That's all I got. Let's do some shout-outs and go home. Let's start with Mark Coughlin.
If you're still watching this video, and I'm really not sure why you are, but
Yeah,
if you're still here, please give us a thumbs up and press that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a dime. It helps us out, and we would really appreciate it. Also, you can follow us on all social media. Just look up What Drives Us on everything, and we're there. So if you want to follow through the week, please connect through all your social media travels with What Drives Us. Thanks very much. Back to Russell.
Thank you, Mark, very much for that. Kacey Green.
So, in addition to the video where I hurt my shoulder showing you how to get out of the back of a Model X with no power, I also made another video where I bought a junkyard window and tried to use an alleged a glass breaking tool that is better as a personal defense tool that it was actually designed for, and I injured my wrist as well. So I do it for you. YouTube.com/Kacey Green.
Tune in next week, and Casey's going to bust his arm.
Oh no!
No.
Hopefully, I'm done injuring myself for a while.
No, we don't want Kacey to get hurt at all. No. But he's out there hurting himself for you. So go watch YouTube.com/Kacey Green.
Thank you,
Georgia McKenzie. By any chance, do you have anything to say or plug or I don't know anything?
I'm starting back kickboxing again.
Uh-oh.
So if you don't see me ever again, people, I gave my all.
Wow.
So don't give 110%. Just give 100%.
Yeah.
I'm doing this with my friend who's my kickboxing and weights teacher, and I'm just like, yes, but you're unnaturally fit, and I'm me. Leave me alone and let me live a long couch potato life. But yeah,
Dilly.
I know. But I'm kind of looking forward to it because I do miss hitting the punching bag and punching and kicking. I just do.
Better watch out, guys.
It's fun.
Wow.
Kickboxing is fun. But that's the only shout out I have for me. The rest of you, I'd like to shout you out. Audience, thank you for sticking with us. And once again, you've been here this long, you love us. Go on ahead, hit like, hit subscribe so you can find more of this awesome 2, 3, 4, maybe sometimes 5 or 6 people kind of randomly saying shit and giggling to each other because we crack each other up. You like hanging out with us. It's fun anyway. What are you going to do?
Absolutely.
Clean something? Come on. This is more fun. And don't forget to bounce over to the Tesla Life with Mark because he's got all your important Tesla info. Hit like and subscribe there. Head over to Kacey's channel because, hopefully he's going to stop trying to do stunts on his channel that have him be injured. Because if not, you need to come to my kickboxing class so my friend can teach you how to properly roll and do the, leverage right roundhouse so you don't hurt yourself kicking your way out of your Tesla. Hit like and subscribe because we promise he's going to be more useful, less danger dynamo.
Absolutely. I need to hire a stunt double.
Just, take like a mannequin and throw your clothes on it and just kind of throw it at things like old TV.
Yes.
Go back and watch Monty Python. Guy jumps and you see the next frame and it's actually a dummy.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Sounds absolutely reasonable to me. I'm sorry. I don't know why. Well, thank you very much, Georgia, for that. As always, I want to thank Michael Manring for his amazing theme music. Visit him at manthing.com. Please consider buying his music wherever you see it. That's Michael Manring. Thank you, Michael, and thank you, all of that. As always, I want to thank all of you for watching the show. I want to thank Georgia McKenzie, Kacey Green, and his auto-scrolling camera, and Mark Coughlin, who doesn't have that like me and we can kind of, hey, maybe we should do the wave or no, that's horrible. Okay. I want to thank everybody who made this show great. Thank you so much. You folks are the reason we do it. Please, again, do go to YouTube and subscribe. This helps us immeasurably and it costs you nothing. So we appreciate that support immensely. Until next week, tune in and find out what drives us. Kacey's on the music tip. Very good, Kacey.
Right. Got it.
See you guys. Nah.